Hello. Alright, you join me in the conservatory. Yeah, welcome to this week's Homebrew Weekday thing. It was going to be Homebrew Wednesday, wasn't it? But, you know, with one thing or another, folks, sometimes you're in the mood, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you have to get stuff done, and this week's just got the better of me. So, it's late, I know, but I thought I'd do one today anyway, just to show you what's going on in the Shed of Doom. So in a minute I'll give you a little bit of a tour of the Shed of Doom. We'll come back, we'll have a chat about what I can find in the shed. Also, I'm going to take you on a little bit of a tour of what's brewing at the moment in the kitchen and in the conservatory of Doom, just down here. You can't see it, but I'll show you. Behind me is the lager. I've just put that temperature up to 18 degrees or so for 2 days for the diacetyl rest. Now I'm lowering the temperatures down to as low as I can get, so that we can do a proper lager process on it, and I'll leave it in there for as long as I can and then bottle it and move it out to the shed. See how we get on with that. So I'll walk you around the shed, we'll come back and we'll do a little bit of a tasty poos. Alright? See you in a bit. Alright folks, you join me in my Shed of Doom. I've got so much stuff in here. It's mad. I've got more empty bottles than I've got beer now. So I'm just going to turn the camera around. As Jim says, give it a little bit of a twizzle. I sounded like, what's his name? Not off. A wee bye bye mate. Turns into a DJ all of a sudden. That's what happens when you do too many broadcasts on a Saturday night. I'm just going to show you all of the boxes behind me, right? Just so you get an idea as to how many empty bottles I've got, and not very much beer. So I'm going to turn it around and I'll show you. All right. Oh, what a mess in here! Look, we've got one of these washers, the Carver washers. They're pretty good. Here, empty bottles there. Under here we've got the Strawberry Pale Ale. On top of that, got some more empty bottles. In here I've got Strawberry Pale Ale, and underneath that there's another Strawberry Pale Ale, which is going to go in the bin because it's fucking disgusting. We've got the Cooper's sort of fermenting vessel thing there. I tend to use that more for bottling really than doing beers in. But hey, empty bottles, empty bottles. Empty bottles, empty bottles, empty bottles, empty bottles. Empty bottles, empty bottles. You get the gist of this, don't you? Empty bottles, empty bottles. Da-da-da. Beer. But in here, I think I've probably only got, I can see a few bottles in there. Look, there's what, 4, 5, 6 maybe, of the Mexican Cerveza that I did in October last year. So I'm going to grab one of those out, bring it over here, put it down there for a bit. See what else we got over here. Empty bottles under, there's my stir plate. Under there I've got some of the Galaxy Centennial that I made. Still got some of that left. Need to drink that. But basically folks, I've got no beer in here at all now. Under here, empty bottles, empty crate. That's no good, is it? Over there I've got a Munton cider, and over there that says a yeast cider. So I'll grab one of those, and we'll go and we'll have a little bit of a chat in the conservatory of Doom, and we'll do a bit of a taste test. Hello. Now, as you probably saw just then, I brought in a couple of ciders and a Cerveza. However, I tasted them before I went on camera, and they weren't that good. The only one that was good was the yeast cider. That was really good. I'd give that a 9 out of 10 probably. So if you want to get yourself some yeast cider yeast, I would suggest you do that. So I've changed my mind a little bit folks. I was going to do it on camera, but I've been brewing a lot lately, and here I've got my Sierra Cortina. Did you see what I did there? This was, the recipe for this was originally something like a Sierra Madre, it was called. and I have to confess, I nicked the recipe off the internet. I found it on Beersmith or somewhere or other. It's an extract, however I have swapped out light malt extract with amber malt, quite dark amber malt as you can see. So you know, and I've done my own thing with it. In here, bing, I've got Centennial, I've got Cascade, and I've got some Perle hops, P-E-R-L-E. Yeah, I won't go into details how I did it. I'll stick a brief thing underneath here so you can have a little read at your leisure if you're interested, and maybe I'll throw the recipe up on the Turbo Cider Makers group as well, because we like to talk about things other than just cider in there as well. We talk about beer too. Unfortunately, I was going to change the name of the group to Turbo Cider and Beer Makers group, something like that. But if you've got more than 200 members, they won't let you do it for some reason on Facebook. So the name of the group remains as it is. So what I'm going to do with this, because we've got quite a lot of it, I'm going to pour it into this decanting vessel, little jug that I've got here, nice glass jug. Oh, blimey, a little bit urgent, wasn't it? And I'll be very careful in pouring it, the bulk of it, into here. Well, I don't think this is a 2 litre, but we'll pour as much as we can in, because I don't want to disturb the sediment in this bottle too much. Because what I'm going to do with the rest of it is I'm going to put it back in the fridge for later, and I'm going to drink it during the live broadcast. So there we go. There's still some of that left, so I've put that over there to one side, put the lid back on it, and I'll stick that back in the fridge. Now this is very early, okay? It's dark amber. It's not going to be clear because it's only literally just been in the bottle for 2 weeks to carbonate. However, I have already had a little bit of a taster, and it's very pleasant, folks, and I thought I'd do it on camera. That was me getting this off the table, by the way, not me farting. That was not the sound of me farting, I promise you. Now, I'm actually really happy with this because, one, it produces a fantastic head. Forgive me for looking over there, the camera's there, isn't it? I don't know why I'm looking over there, I'm looking at myself. I'm vain, aren't I? Hey, I'm a broadcaster, so shoot me. It gives me a rather nice head, and also I quite like the colour. It's quite dark, and it's a little bit murky, obviously. As I said, it's quite young, and maybe given some time it will improve. So cheers to you, boys and girls. Quite bitter, but however, just the right amount of hops in there, and there is some sweetness at the back end as well. So not a bad beer at all, that. So if you want to give it a go, like I say, the recipe will be underneath. Don't have to, it's up to you, it's your choice. But it's all right. It's more bitter than hoppy, although there is some hoppage in there, if you know what I mean. But I will drink it. It's a nice enough beer, and any beer is good if you make it yourself, isn't it, folks? Any beer is good. But yeah, cheers to you. What else has been going on this week? Well, before I show you around all the bits and bobs that I'm brewing at the moment, I just thought I'd bring you up to scratch as to what else has been going on. It won't take long, not very much. There you go, I'm done with that. I need to do more beer though, because as you've seen in the Shed of Doom, there's nothing in there other than empty bottles. And I do like to have a little bit of a beer on a Saturday night when I do the broadcasts. I don't drink during the week generally. Occasionally I might have the odd pint, but I don't, you know, I don't have more than maybe a pint or two. But that's very rare, folks, for me to drink during the week. So I save all my drinking for the weekends if I want to do the broadcast, because to do broadcast every weekend you need to have a little bit of courage inside you folks, let's just put it that way. And it's always good to have a few beers with you blokes as well when you're watching, and we get on Uvu, don't we, and we have a big old chat about all things beer related. We do some beer reviews, generally take the piss out of each other and do the same old stuff as we always do, and it always seems to go down quite well. So hey, why spoil something that works? Yeah, but we're still trying to sell the house, other things, you know, lots of other stuff going on. It won't bore you to death with things, but nothing positive really to say at the moment, unfortunately. Hopefully things will pick up soon though. We'll see what happens. It's a very quick one this week, showing you around the shed, showing you around the beers. I'll show you in just a second around the beers, and I'll see you on next week's homebrew weekend, maybe. I don't like to, it's why I've shortened it to HBW really, because if it's not on a Wednesday I can say, well, it's a homebrew weekday, and if I don't do it during the week I can say it's a homebrew weekender, like a 80s soul weekender, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm going to go away and drink this beer folks, and I'll see you later on tonight's broadcast. If not, and you're viewing this after tonight's broadcast, I'll see you next week sometime, either during another homebrew weekend / week / weekday, weekend kind of thing. Enjoy yourselves, look after yourselves, take it easy, and I'll see you next time. Ta-da. Alright, so just a couple of things to show you. This one here is, it's a beer, that's what it is. No surprise there, boy. I just can't remember what I put in it. Let's have a little look on my bit of paper here. What have we got? So we've got, this is the, as you can see, it looks like it's going to explode, doesn't it? Have a little look inside. You can see it's quite busy, very busy in there. But I've got this blowout tube here just in case of any emergencies, and occasionally I'll just give it a little squeeze down, get some of that CO2 out. Oh, it's a laugh, isn't it? So in here I've got some Simcoe, some Centennial and some Citra. This is like my Centennial Citra thingy type beer. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet really. I did come up with a name the other day but I've forgotten what it was. In here, this one's more or less done I think. If you look in there, like you can see, there's not too much going on now. That is Cascade and Equinox in that one, a very small batch, a gallon batch of that. I should be siphoning that one off probably midweek, and that'll be fine hopefully. Down here, look. Now I threw some more yeast in this yesterday because it didn't seem to be doing very much. It seems to be kicking off again though. It was stuck at 1020 and I got a little bit impatient. It does smell very sweet, so I wasn't really happy leaving it at 1020 to be honest. So I've thrown a little bit of US-05 in there. Hopefully that will help it finish off fermenting really. If not, I'll just bottle it as it is.